Hello, all of my skater bears. They were a skater bear. He said, "See you later there." The bear wasn't good enough to grind. Welcome to my new Let's Play, Tony Hawk's Police Skater on the Nintendo 64. This is going to be 100% Let's Play, and we are going to get every single tape. And if there's anything that I'm able to point out, I'd be more than happy to do that, so don't you worry, skater bears. So the first thing we are going to do is we are going to load my save data chronically blue so you know that this is all my footage. I haven't had any allegations against me, but I very much and very happily record all of my own footage. Most of the time. I say most of the time because sometimes it's a little bit of a pain. It's a little frustrating with these old consoles, but you know what? I still go ahead and do it anyway. But yes, so because this is Tony Hawk's Police Skater, we are going to be playing as the police officer Richard, and the reason why I'm loading up my save data here is because in order to play as Officer Richard, you have to first get all the tapes at least one time previously. So imagine this is like Luigi in Super Mario Galaxy. Like, hey, you got everything. Here's a new character to go through the game again. So we have the warehouse tape challenges first, and so the first thing we have to do is we have the 5 crates that we have to break, and you will notice some points instead of the regular cash if you play any other Tony Hawk game. As well as with this Tony Hawk game specifically, we cannot grind. Well, sorry, we can grind, we just cannot manual. So, we can do a lot, it's really hard to build up combos. You're spending most of it either in the air or grinding, not manualing. So it is difficult to reach some of the score caps for some of the levels, which I'll be able to assist with in the final episode. I'm going to tell you how we were able to do that. So the first thing we're doing here is we're getting all of the boxes, we're getting the skate letters, we're going to get the secret tape, we're going to grind and everything, and we're going to just shred like no tomorrow. So there's a few tips I do want to give out first. When you are coming up to a ramp, if you press up and then press the jump button, or yeah, if you go up and then press the jump button, you're going to do what is called a nollie, where it will give you more air, and it's going to help if you need to reach some certain areas. Now, on the N64, it is very, very weird. I cannot elaborate on that enough. It is so weird to play this on the N64, because everyone normally associates this with PlayStation or Xbox, but this game came out on the N64 too. And so, on the N64, you use the C buttons. You hold down the down C button in order to jump and build up speed. The top one to grind. I want to say the right one is to grab and the left one is to kickflip, but I might have those backwards. Yeah, so we've already gotten the regular score, the pro score. I think we've gotten the tape as well as the skate letters and all the boxes. Let's go ahead and see here. Yeah, we got everything all in one fell swoop. So with that, every time you get a new tape, you unlock a level or a new board and new stats, and so it's just really helpful. And this is where I'm actually putting in my letters here. And if you notice, you might realize that, oh, well, that's them. So it actually shows the name of the skater that was used to get that score, but these are, of course, generic scores, except for the Tony one. That was me when I was messing around. My original intention with this game was to go through and play it as Elissa Steamer, just because, go girls, y'all are awesome, very underrepresented, so you know, you're great. But once I beat the game, I then realized that you could play as Officer Richard, so I'm like, you know what, let's go ahead and do that, that'll be fun. And so that's exactly what we're doing here. We're just gonna have a nice fun time, and in this first episode, there's not going to be a lot of editing. A lot of it is, all the editing specifically, just the background itself, and showing off everything. So there's no going to be hardcore cuts or anything like that, unlike high school. But anyway, so yes, with this specifically, it's just going to be me playing through the levels right now, and as of the next episode, that's when it's going to start being very edit heavy. because it's going to be very difficult in order to get the pro scores and all this, that, and the other. One thing I do want to talk about is the special bar. So every time you go up a ramp, you kickflip, grind, do a gap, anything like that, it will increase until it becomes special. And when it's special, it becomes gold, and then you're able to use a special trick. What are the special tricks? Wouldn't you like to know? It doesn't tell you. That'd be way too convenient. So what you have to do is you just have to figure out what the button combinations are in order to potentially do a special trick. And hope you do it right, and hope that you have enough airtime or balance to do that. Because if you don't, then you're going to mess it up, and you will not only lose the points, you lose the ability to do a special trick until you get the special bar all the way up again, and you're going to look really dumb. As the special bar is up here right now, we are not going to pull off any special tricks in this first episode. We will definitely do that next episode, though, specifically in the downtown area. I'm just trying to show off as much as I can here. You can wall grind, but it doesn't give you any points for it, because why would it? That'd be way too convenient. Yes, as of right now, you can tell it is very dark in this back area here. I'm not sure if that is the N64 itself, or just my TV. It's definitely the capture card. Yeah, so we've already gone ahead and collected a few tapes here. I will not leave an area until we get all the tapes, so you don't have to worry about that. I'm not gonna just go flip-flying all over the god-dang place. I just want a picture of a god-dang hot dog. I don't watch King of the Hill, but that one little audio is just stuck in my brain. It's just such nice areas. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to show you where the secret tape is. And it is hidden. They definitely tried to make the secret tapes a little more obscure each and every time. But if you follow this guide, I'd be more than happy to help you. So we're going to grind out here. You don't have to grind there. I believe you could just jump and ride it, but just grind. It's a lot easier. As well as with the first Tony Hawk game, there is no grind. There's no balance. There's not a balance scale. So what normally happens is you will see a little blue line with a yellow arrow, and that's where you're currently putting pressure on, and it'll go left and right. And then you're just hoping that you do it right. With the first game, that's not there, so you really have to focus on the character and see if they are leaning one way or the other in order to keep up with it. What I'm doing right now is I'm going to show you how to specifically get the 100% pro score here. And you're going to see a lot of end runs here, just because it's what helps. So what the first thing you have to do here is, when we are at the top there, we are going to jump off, do a grab, and then we are going to grind onto the lunch table. Make sure to utilize the gaps. That little dumpster gap there, that has 2 or 3 gaps, and the gaps increase your multiplier by 1. So for every trick you do, it'll make the multiplier go up by 1. If you do any 180s, 360s, 540s, 720s, anything like that, that will also make the multiplier go up by 0.5. So one of the things that is really vital is to very, very, very much focus on building up the gaps, doing grinds, doing kick flips, doing spins, which you can do using the L and R buttons or just using the thumbstick. I prefer using the thumbstick because I feel like I have way more control. I can very easily more gauge where I'm going and just solve it all together. You can totally use the left and right buttons. That does not change. You can do that on every single Tony Hawk game. I don't really utilize that until the very last episode or so, and my phone is being loud. Why would it do that? Yeesh. Spoiler alert, my next Let's Play is going to be Sonic Frontiers. Nah, I'm kidding. I do have that game, but I do not... I'm currently way more invested in Ratchet and Clank than Sonic Frontiers. Even though I'm a big Sonic fan, I haven't played Ratchet and Clank in a while, and I just need to scratch that itch. Need to play Ratchet and Clank 2015 on the PS4. So here you can grind. It is going to be very unique. What I highly suggest is when you are trying to grind, hold the up C button or the triangle button or the Y button. Specifically because if you hit the grind button a little early or a little late, you could just not grind. It doesn't give you like a button prompt. One of the things that is really crucial is to hold it. That way, at any point, when you're near a grind area, it'll be like, oh, this person's trying to grind. Let's help them grind. It's just very helpful. My throat's already trying to stop me from being awesome. Need some water. Oh well, it'll be fine. We have quite a few episodes to record today. I'm alright. I'm just gonna get some water here after this episode, I swear. Because I just want to talk about Tony Hawk for a little bit, because this is one of those games that, like, no matter how I'm feeling, I'm always in the mood for a Tony Hawk game. It's just, you just feel so cool and awesome. You get to listen to the awesome music that I had to turn down because it's all licensed songs. And copyright's unique. I have not told anyone this yet, so I'll happily tell you. For the last episode of the SpongeBob game, because in the last scene of the boss phase, it plays Goofy Goober Rock, it was copyright claimed, but I got extremely lucky, because with that specifically, YouTube told me, hey, you got a copyright claim here, but this person has allowed this song to be used freely. I'm like, really? I'm like, yep. So there's no ads on the video, there's no limitations on the video, there's no copyright claim on the account, and I'm just like, sweet! I did not expect that, but that is awesome. It's like if you use like a song from like the 1980s. Oh, that sounds old when I say it like that. When you use a song from the 1980s, this happened to me quite a few times from older channels, but it'd be like, this video is restricted in Russia. And you're like, awesome. So glad. And with someone like me, where I'm trying to spread my content as much as possible, so people have something cool to watch that is very positive and family-friendly with old games, you don't really want that to be restricted. However, I did just a bunch of montages back in the day. So, allow me one moment here. Okay, much better. Anyway, so yes, as I was saying, with my old channel, I used to do montages where I just recorded a bunch of footage from Flash games and such, and then the commentary wasn't good. I didn't like it. The gameplay wasn't good, and I didn't do anything important, so I was like, you know what, let's just make montages. And so what I did was, I used a bunch of Monster Cat audio, which, if you don't know, Monster Cat just is a great YouTube channel where they show up a bunch of different songs from a bunch of different artists, new and up-and-coming stuff, and it's really cool. And allegedly, you are able to use it in videos if you cite the creator. That didn't happen. Every single time I did it, it's like, bam, copyright claim, bam, copyright claim, bam, copyright claim. I'm like, you know what? Whatever. I don't even care anymore. And so I just kept doing it because it really helped my editing skills to get better with the timing of stuff when it comes to montages. Just because that is always very helpful in order to work on that. You never know when you're going to have to do stuff and put it all together to make it look good or whatever. And as well as I went ahead and had a cup of water, because my throat was not having it. But I'm very glad that I did that, because now I feel a little bit better, as well as I'm also going to be having a cough drop just in order to help my throat. You gotta be careful what you do, because things happen. I don't know. One thing I meant to say is that, first off, we got the Pro Score tape, which is awesome. But if you do the same trick over and over and over again, it will decrease in point value. So you really have to keep switching it up with what tricks you're doing, or else you're going to get very few points. So it's really helpful in order to switch up the tricks, the kickflips, the grinds, the grabs, all of it. Yes, we have completed the school. And now we have enough tapes in order to get more stats, which helps because this is the first and only game, I want to say, where collecting more of the objectives and such increases your stats for you. Previously, you had to get in the future, you have to get a bunch of money in order to upgrade the stats individually. But yes, thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. I will see you all next time at the mall. Goodbye, my Skater Bears.